How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be doing an overall market update, taking a look at the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq. We're also going to be doing a trading update, talking about what I personally did today in the stock market, as well as what I've been up to here over the past couple of days, since it's been about 1 week since the last market update, trading update video. And honestly, there's a bunch that I need to update you guys on. I also want to go over my watch list here, a bunch of stocks that I'm watching heading into the month of March. SPCE, Virgin Galactic, being one of those, as you all read in the title. Am I long? Am I short? Am I looking to get in? Am I not touching it? I want to go over everything in today's video. But before we do, all I ask from you guys is if you enjoyed this video, simply go down below for me and hit that like button, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further stock market content like this. And I know I said that Webull promotion was running out for the 2 free stocks on the 13th of February, but they actually pushed it back. Now it's until March or April or something like that. So go down below in the description box if you haven't done so already and claim your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 with a deposit of $100. So let's just get right into it, guys. I'm pretty amped up here today. Again, haven't filmed in about a week, so if I'm a little bit rusty, you guys know why. So today, the S&P 500 down $12.92, down 0.38%. And this is actually quite good, because if you were all watching this earlier in the day, I think I was actually in the airport, when this was actually dropping, because my flight was around 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. So I was watching this thing fall off the cliff. We can see the S&P was at 33.93 yesterday. That was an all-time high. But today, we clearly failed to break out of that level. We tried, but the 180 SMA and that 50 SMA, they said no, and the thing ended up tanking all the way down to about 33.41. And that's a pretty drastic drop there. If you guys have seen candlesticks involved with panic selling, that's kind of what it looks like, right? This thing fell about 50-ish points in the span of around 30 to about 40 minutes. That's pretty drastic, but the fact that we closed on a nice little upswing, that's pretty good in my opinion, because if we go back to that hourly chart, we can see that, actually maybe to the 30-day chart, we can see that this general area of around 33.50, this has been a support over the past couple of trading days. And that used to be actually an old resistance from back on the 6th of February. So that's a good sign from the bullish perspective here, despite the massive drop. And honestly, looking forward here, I would love to see the S&P from a bullish perspective to end up testing yet again that 33.80 level, as that is really the next resistance that we're facing here. And you all can see on that 5-day, 5-minute chart at how strong of a resistance 33.80 is. On the 12th, we failed to break above it. We did not close above it. We almost closed above it on the 13th, but we failed to break above it there, right? On the 14th, Valentine's Day, we failed to break above it again. On the 18th, we failed to break above it yet again. So that's the resistance right now that we're dealing with. And for me, doing technical analysis here, I would need to see, obviously, that break, and from there, we could probably expect, yet again, another all-time high in the S&P 500. Will we get that tomorrow? I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball, guys, but that is what I am watching. 33.80 here on the SPX. And overall, I've been getting questions. Is the S&P setting up for a further sell-off? I see, again, a bit of a resistance here. This could be setting up for a sell-off, guys. Let's say we don't break above 33.80 and we go back down to test that 33.50 level we just mentioned, and we break that. I'd expect a pull down here to at least 3330, and that would be putting the S&P, I'd say, above that 50 SMA. And I've been glancing in the Discord chat, guys, a bunch of people, and by the way, that's linked down below in the description as well, 100% free of charge. A bunch of people have been saying, this is a big sell-off, oh my God, panicking. But the truth is, guys, a 0.3%, 0.5%, heck, even a 1-2% sell-off in the market, that's absolutely nothing. Honestly, that's healthy, right? You guys remember a couple weeks ago, we saw that pretty big pull down from about 33.30 down to about 32.20. That was what, 3, 4, 5%? That is very, very healthy. So if we were to pull down to 33.30 again, that would be around a 1-2% sell-off from that all-time high, and I'd heavily consider buying that dip here on the S&P with maybe an ETF such as SPXL, right, which goes up 3 times whatever the S&P 500 is going up. So overall, we are seeing a bit of resistance and a potential sell-off formation here, but again, the hold above 33.50 is very, very good. Now, all I'm waiting for is which direction are we picking, right? Above 33.80 or below 33.50. That is the key here on the S&P 500. Now, let's go over to the Dow Jones. Very similar, right? We hit an all-time high a couple days ago, 29,568. But overall, over the past couple of weeks, the Dow has been struggling, I'd say around 29,400, right? You guys can see back on the 17th of January, that's where we peaked out at before that little correction. Not even a correction, but before that little sell-off down to about 28,300. We rallied back up to, again, that all-time high of 29,500. And now we're holding that 50 SMA at a support of, I'd say, around 29,100. And we're in this little range. And to be honest, guys, I could see if we do break this, down, maybe to, below 29,000, I could see some sort of sell-off, maybe back down to, let's say, 28,600. This is, worst case scenario here, right? Let's say we were to dump there, that would be roughly another 2% sell-off. And again, don't freak out, guys. This is perfectly normal, perfectly healthy. And this opens up opportunities, quite frankly, because a lot of these big name, large cap stocks, they're at all-time highs now. When the markets in general pull down, that opens up swing opportunities, and let's say the Microsofts of the world, Apples, Facebook, etc., right? These massive, massive companies, as, when the markets sell off, typically the large caps sell off as well. Not always, not every large cap, but a lot of the large caps do. So the Dow, those are kind of some thoughts here today. I don't think I mentioned this, but today, down 0.44%, down $128. Now over to the Nasdaq. Let me pull up my phone. I think it was down $66 last time I checked. Down about 67.67, that is, percent here today. Pretty big sell-off in the Nasdaq. It's bigger than both the S&P and the Dow Jones, and that's because tech stocks today, they actually got hit pretty hard. We can see down here, actually, you guys probably can't because my face is there, but Facebook's down $3 today, Apple down $3, Amazon down $17, Google down about $9, Netflix actually held up pretty well, down only 19 cents, Microsoft down almost $3 per share. So tech got hit decently today, and overall, I'd say the Nasdaq's chart pattern is the most attractive here from a bullish perspective out of the 3 major indexes, and that is because we are holding the uptrend still. We're holding that 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, and you can see after hours here, we're still holding it. And the one thing that would worry me a bit is if we were to break downwards, right? That could end up being a gap fill down to this 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart, right? And that would be another sell-off of around, let's say, 3% from here, right? And that could open up a fantastic opportunity, in my opinion, in ticker symbol TQQQ. And if you guys track TQQQ, this goes up whenever the S&P 5, or not the S&P, the Nasdaq rather, is going up, right? So the Nasdaq goes up, TQQQ goes up at a 3x rate. And the funny thing is, guys, a little side tangent, I bought TQQQ here around $97, but I stopped out of it, and I'm kicking myself because if I didn't sell out, I'd be up a nice 15% on that position, but that's okay. Hindsight's 2020. We cannot focus on the past. All we can do is focus on the future, right? So overall, that's kind of what the market is up to right now. Some thoughts going through my head, right? I could see a sell-off, guys. I could see it happen, right? I could see a little pull down, but overall, the trend is still intact to the upside. And honestly, until we break the 180 SMA on all of the three major indexes, it's going to remain that way, right? The trend is going to remain upwards. So now let's talk about what I've been up to in terms of my trading. So typically when I'm on vacation, guys, I'm not stopping trading completely. I can't. My brain is wired to always be involved with the stock market. There's no way I can take a week off. It's just not possible for me, right? So sometimes I slow down a bit on vacations. For the most part, it's still kind of normal trading for me, right? And what I've been up to is really, I've been involved with 4 stocks. One of them being Facebook, the other one being Uber, the other one being Microsoft, and the fourth one, guys, believe it or not, being SPCE. And let's start off with that one. Actually, no, we'll save that one for last, actually. Let's start off quickly with what I've been up to with the other one. So Uber, this is one that I bought on this dip here, and if you guys followed me on Instagram, you probably saw that because I think I did post it on my Instagram there, which is at StockSurfS, by the way. Follow me if you haven't done so already. And this is one that I'm still holding, believe it or not, right? Bought a little bit at, I'd say, $39.70, I think. I might have bought a little bit more on this day at around $40.30, and now I'm just simply holding onto my shares with a goal sell target being around $42 per share. And the reason why I got into it is because, guys, the uptrend is intact, right? This is simply a dip in my opinion. I'm long Uber in general. I think they'll reach 45 to $50 per share this year, and I've been saying that on the channel. So any dip that I'm seeing, I'm heavily considering in Uber. So holding those shares nice and strong right now. Facebook's actually one that I actually sold yesterday. I timed this one perfectly, guys. And by the way, that doesn't always happen. You don't always time the trades perfectly. It's pretty much impossible, right? But this is one that I was buying in the 208 to the 210 range, a little bit more in the 211 range, and I ended up locking it in yesterday, I believe, at around $216 per share after this pretty big dump off in the morning. We hit 218 yesterday, sold off to about 216, and this is roughly where I was selling out. It might have been in the lower 217s, but in general, this is where I sold out of the Facebook shares, and again, I timed it perfectly because, like I said, tech got rocked today, right? Pretty badly, down about 1.4% for Facebook, and this is honestly one that I'm looking to re-enter here, but the truth is the chart is not looking, it's looking pretty decent, right? The uptrend's still intact, but I'm nervous about this 220 level of resistance. It seems like it's struggling right here, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to get back in, but I'm just looking to see some sort of confirmation, a hold above 214, 215, and I'll probably enter there again. So that's Facebook. Uber. Microsoft is one that, honestly, guys, I think I'm down a little bit on Microsoft at this point. I bought in on this dip at around 183. Ended up buying more at 185. I should have locked my profits. This is kind of a mistake on my part, honestly. I should have locked my profits here as we were climbing up to 187. But with the big dump off in tech today, I'm really right back at my average cost, maybe down a little bit on the position, as it was down about $2.86 today, down 1.53%. So Microsoft, that's kind of what I'm dealing with. Am I worried a bit? Yeah, I'm a bit worried in it, but the truth is, I'm not too heavily in Microsoft. Buying a little bit, probably around 30-40% of my position is built, but the goal with Microsoft here is to sell eventually at around $190 within around a 2 to 3 week time frame here. So SPCE, this is one that I got a bit ballsy this day. I got a bit, out of my comfort zone. As you guys know, I'm more of a conservative trader here, right? But I saw SPCE take a bit of a dip this day. We saw a dip from about $38 down to about $30 in this day of trading, and I bought some shares. I held them overnight. Again, bit ballsy. Not always. I'm really never honestly trading like this, but it was an amount of money that I'm willing to just, I don't like saying the word gamble, but it's an amount of money that I'm cool with losing a little bit if I were to get killed on the trade, right? And I bought in at about $30. I think it was like $30.60 right before the close of the market, guys. Pretty good entry point here now that I'm looking back at it. And I sold off the next day at around $36, had a limit order, and boom. Quick little profit. I think it was like 16% there. What a big profit, honestly, guys, because most of the time I'm only locking in about 2 to 5% on my swing trades. And this one, again, being 15-16%, that's probably the biggest winner of the month for me. Not dollar-wise, but if we're looking at percentage-wise, this is probably the biggest. I think it definitely is the biggest winner of the month for me. And we're going to talk more about SPCE here in a second. But before we do, let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on the markets in general and individual trades that you've been taking? I'd love to know. Again, let me know down below in the comment section. So SPCE, guys, Virgin Galactic. I don't really have to introduce this company because you guys probably already know it, because all of the analysts, YouTubers, news outlets, they've been bombarding content about SPCE. And this is a company, very quick overview because I'm sure some of you guys don't know, this is the first space tourism company that's looking to take people into space, into orbit, right? And they're selling these tickets for $250,000. Not anymore. I think they cut it off. I think 300 people already purchased their seats for the flight, but it's $250,000 to get into one of these flights. And the way that it works is, I don't know how I can explain this without using my hands, but there's two planes. One on the right, one on the left, and the rocket is in the middle, right? So these two planes take the rocket up, I forget how high in the air, and then they release the rocket, and then the rocket shoots up, I forget again how much, but it shoots up into orbit, and you feel some weightlessness, right? You feel, obviously, no gravity for about a couple of minutes, and then you obviously descend back or whatever, right? And that's kind of the premise of this company right now. Extremely risky in my opinion, because the business model really, it hasn't made money yet, guys. This company's worth like $6 billion, $7 billion, $8 billion or something like that, and they really haven't brought in any revenue, guys. That's the scary thing here about SPCE. This is the definition of a speculative company, but it's pretty cool, guys, and I'm not even going to be here and tell you all that I'm a space expert, because I'm the opposite. I'm a space noob, but I did do some research here onto SPCE, and I got to say, it's a pretty interesting thing that they're trying to do, but overall, the stock, I think it's very exuberantly, is that even a word? I think it's just really overpriced. I think it's very overextended, but I would not short it. It's like Tesla. There's no way I'm shorting Tesla. There's no way I'm shorting space or SPCE rather, because it's just like playing with fire, guys. You don't want to short these hype stocks because it seems like they just keep going. And you can see now with the dip from $42, I'm not guaranteeing this, but I wouldn't be surprised if this thing were to rally all the way back up to $40 again. You see, some people shorting it are probably very excited now, but they'll get their boots smoked if this thing goes back up to 45, 50 bucks, or even $60 per share, as Morgan Stanley has set their price target to, right? And some other interesting things here about ticker symbol SPCE, and kind of what would make me invest in them is, guys, if they were to get some point in time a point-to-point travel business model, meaning, let's say, you can go from San Francisco to Hong Kong in 90 minutes using their rockets through space's orbit, right? That is insane. That's a very good business model, in my opinion, especially if they're able to get those ticket prices from, let's say, $250K. Let's be honest, no one's paying that. I'm not paying it. An average Joe like me is not paying it. Someone like you most likely is not paying it. Only people that are mega rich are going to pay something like that. But if they get the tickets down to, let's say, $20K, $40K, as I've seen online from doing some research, and they do this point-to-point space travel, this could be something interesting in the future, right? Considering you can go, again, from San Fran to Hong Kong in 90 minutes, from, New Jersey to Europe in like an hour or whatever, that could be very, very awesome. But that's wishful thinking at this point. I don't even know if that is going to happen. It could happen, but it might not be for another 10 years. So looking at the business model now, there's no way I'm going to invest in space, guys. But that does not mean I'm not going to trade it. I am not trading it. I already did trade it, right? And I'm looking to maybe get back into this one if we successfully hold that 50 SMA. Because as of now, the trend is still holding, guys. And you all saw what happened last time we saw a sell-off like this. Again, I traded it at this point, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does see another pop like it did the other day from, let's say, 35, 36, maybe back up into the $40 level, and that's the tradable range that I'm looking at. Also, they are reporting earnings here in the next couple of days on the 25th of this month, which is, let's see, that's in 5 days from now. I'm assuming that's on Monday or Tuesday, so this is definitely something worth watching and something that I'm going to be covering heavily here on this channel. So, am I long? No. Am I short? Absolutely not, guys. I'm not shorting this because I don't want to get my boots smoked, right? I'm simply on the sidelines and I'm looking to hop into it, and I'm honestly treating this as a 2 to 3 day swing trade, not even, maybe even like a day trade, right? Tomorrow could be a very, very good day trade. It's setting up as a potential day trade for tomorrow, and those are just some thoughts right now, just kind of overall what the business model is, kind of in a way, and just what are my thoughts, right? So let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on space? And again, if this video is a bit off the cuff, rambling, it is a bit off the cuff. That's the truth, because I just got off my flight about 2 hours ago, so don't mind me if this video is a bit crappy. Yeah. Just saying that just to let you guys know. So let's go over very quickly some other stocks. Square, oh my God, guys, Square has been ripping. Over the past 3 weeks alone, this thing's gone from $67 all the way up to 87 bucks. It pulled down today. I missed that entry. That would have been a great entry, but we're rebounding from there, from 83 bucks, 50 SMA hold on the hourly chart. Now we're trading at around 85 bucks. So for me tomorrow, could this momentum push it back up to 87? That could happen, and that could be a potential day trade. And they're also reporting earnings here on the 26th of February, so keep an eye out on those. NIO stock, NIO is finally showing some signs of life, guys. Today up 4%. It seems like we're officially holding that 180 SMA as a support here on the 4-hour chart. You guys can see these two little arrows of potential scenarios that could have happened. Luckily, they didn't, right? They didn't dump down here below the moving average, and that's good because, again, the uptrend is intact. Now we're going to be messing around with, let's say, that $4.50 level, which is a major resistance, and above that is going to be $5, which is the next level that we're going to be dealing with. So for NIO, I would love to see it break above 450. From there, I see a lot of potential from 450 up to about $5 per share. So some other ones here that we're dealing with, Nvidia, very, very hot, guys. Nvidia, ticker symbol NVDA. this is one that I would love to see it pull down back to, let's say, $290, maybe $300 per share, maybe even $285. This could be a nice long entry point on Nvidia, and they reported earnings. I think, when was this, when I was on vacation? It might have been. Actually, no, about a week ago they reported earnings on the 13th. They skyrocketed since then. Forget what their earnings are, to be honest, but obviously, the market thinks their earnings were good, so 285, 290, that's where I'm looking to enter here on ticker symbol NVDA. CCL, not really moving quite yet, but it's still on my watch list for a potential break above that 50 SMA, maybe into that $43, $44, $45 level here. And Johnson & Johnson, if we're looking at healthcare stocks, I know they're a bit boring, but J&J could be setting up here for a swing trade if it does end up holding and breaking above that EMA line here, and if it holds that 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart to, let's say, get back to the $149 to about $150 level. So overall, guys, those are some stocks. Tesla, that's another one that I'm watching. Am I shorting it? Absolutely not. Am I long right now? Well, my long-term accounts, I am long, but in my swing account, I am not long. And I would consider entering Tesla if it were to shed about, let's say, $90 off its share price. Is it going to do that? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. But if it were, I would consider it. Maybe on that 50 SMA, that could be a dip entry here on the stock. So overall, guys, again, I'm sorry if this video was kind of slapped together, if it wasn't as good as usual. Honestly, I just wanted to get something out there to you all, and I wanted to just go over just a couple thoughts, stocks I'm trading, thoughts on the market. So hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, go down below, hit that like button, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to claim your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 with a deposit of $100, which is linked down below in the description box. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Good luck in the markets tomorrow. Peace out.